can I say? I hope they live to see a brighter day. And the ones that are doing fine, God bless you, cause you're doing fine. At the end of the day, don't forget about me. As days turn to weeks, and weeks turn to years, oh, I feel for my brother. And as time passes by, I see you're not satisfied. Oh, I feel for my brother. Feel for my brother. The street life used to be on, straight up hustling till the break of dawn. Taught me how to do wrong right, everything is tight. But somehow things started to change. Try to get us straight up out of the game. You couldn't see what I saw. The empire was starting to fall. And everything that I said never seemed to get into your head. I tried to do the right thing, living my life with the words that I sing. Now tell me, I wanted to know what happened to my best friend. As days turn to weeks, and weeks turn to years, I feel for my brother. Feel for my brother. And as time passes by, I see you're not satisfied. Oh, I feel for my brother. Feel for my brother. I miss you, man. You're my brother. I said I love you, babe. I won't forget you, no. Oh, no, no. Oh, no, no, no. Sometimes I feel life is cheap. Everything's disposable and so are we. Can you hear me? Life is real, yeah. And if there's a heaven above, please start showing a brother real love. Cause I wanna go home. Oh, I feel for my brother. I miss you, man. Oh, I feel for my brother. You're my brother. I feel for my brother. Oh, no, no. Feel for my brother. I wanna go home. I feel for my brother. I won't forget you, no. I feel for my brother. I feel for my brother. I feel. Oh, I feel for my brother. I feel for my brother.
Gracious God, creator of the universe, and yet the lover of my soul. Alpha and Omega, and yet I can call you friend. I don't have to beg you for anything, but I can thank you for everything. God, I thank you because this is the day that you have made, and I can rejoice and be glad in it. Thank you for this day of magnificence and glory and splendor. God, I thank you for life, health, and for strength. I thank you for soundness of mind. I thank you for peace, love, and joy. I thank you for the essence of you that envelops me right now from the crown of my head to the soles of my feet. We thank you for this day of manifestation. We thank you for the day of revelation. We thank you for the day of impartation. We thank you as you move in the midst of your people to bring us to the greatest times that we've ever seen since the foundation of the world. Thank you, Lord, that for this time and for this season, you've allowed us to be a part of your move in the face of the earth. I thank you, God, for the revolution that you're bringing forth, God, even in the midst of the earth right now. And I thank you for the opportunity to be a part of what you're doing in this hour, because in the last days, saith God, you said you would pour out your spirit on all flesh. And so now we thank you for the pouring out. God, I thank you for the rain and the move of your spirit. I thank you for fresh oil. I thank you for new wine. I thank you for the new thing that you're doing. I thank you now that it does spring forth. I thank you, Lord, that you've called us to be the head and not the tail. You've called us to be above only and not beneath. You've called us to be the lender and not the borrower. You've called, God, that our storehouses would be full and increase. God, I thank you because even I decree and declare that the people under the sound of my voice, even now, are moving in the might of your strength, not by might nor by power, but by your spirit. I thank you for those that are the sons and daughters of God that are called because they walk not after the flesh, but after your spirit. I thank you for the rising up of the people of your kingdom. I thank you that your kingdom come. I thank you that your will be done, even now in earth as it is in heaven. I thank you, Lord, because you are moving in the midst of your people mightily as never before. Raise us up, oh God, to the standard of what you've called us to be. God, I thank you for the standard of greatness. I thank you for the standard of holiness. I thank you for the standard of moving as the sons and daughters of yours, and not as vagabonds, not as those that never knew you, not as those that are confused and confounded, but God, those that know who they are in you. I thank you for the knowing. I thank you, God, for knowing you. I thank you for knowing your presence. Thank you for knowing your Holy Ghost power that gives us the ability to be successful. Your anointing that gives us the power to rise up and be called blessed. Thank you for that is in us. Thank you, God, for all things that pertain to life and godliness. Thank you because we are not confused. We are not deceived. And we thank you for that clarity of mind and the clarity of vision that allows us to walk forth as kings and queens, as princes and princesses in the kingdom that walk in the earth. We thank you that we are your beloved, and we rise up as the apple of your eye. We rise up, oh God, as those that you love with all of your heart. And God, we love you back. I thank you for soundness of mind. I thank you for soundness of spirit. I thank you that healing is our bread. Healing is our deliverance. By the stripes of Jesus, we're already healed. And we speak forth that healing even now for those that need it. Thank you, God, for every stripe that was taken. Thank you for the bruising. Thank you that he was wounded for our transgressions, bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was upon him. God, with those same stripes we declare and we speak healing in Jesus' name. We give you glory. We give you peace. We give you honor. We give you blessing. We give you might. We ascribe all of these things unto you because they are yours. Thank you. The fruit of my lips giving thanks unto your name, ever giving you all that is yours. Glory, honor, power, dominion, majesty. It's yours. I decree it and I speak it. In the mighty name of Jesus, it is so. Amen and amen. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Oh my goodness. I just want to welcome you to today's edition of Yes, You O Cubed. This is one-on-one, just me and you, and this is where we have conversation together. You talk to me and I talk to you, and we share together, and all of the greatness just flows together and goes together and just seeps on out into the world. I appreciate every last one of you that have got up this morning. Mike City informed us that he's still sleeping. I was like, Lord, because this is one of those mornings. Listen, I did not want to release that bed. I think all the excitement and everything is finally catching up with me, and I just did not want to release that bed. He said, I'm still asleep. I said, I am too, and it's my show. I think we're in trouble. But nonetheless, we are here. And even as we talk about being here, BTD Mom, listen, James JJ, I just want you to know that BTD Mom said, I'm coming for my crown and title for Grandpa Holmes' chair. So on this fine day, folks, BTD Mom, congratulations. You are the winner of Grandpa Holmes' chair. Oh, yeah. She said, I'm coming for my chair. I'm coming for my chair. I got a special seat that I sit in every day. Come on, give it up, BTD Mom. Yeah, she got Grandpa Holmes' chair this morning, so we give her all the congrats today. So, I want to say, and I haven't mentioned it in a while, but I want to thank Royal Confessions, who provided us with some prizes for those of you that win Grandpa Holmes' chair. So I got to get back on my JOB because she provided it to me. Some of you have gotten our mugs, our cups. I'll just reach over and grab one. Yes, you. There's Grandpa Holmes' chair. And then we have just some plain yes, you. And we've got keychains. I've got, some bags. I've got several different things. And I want to say thank you to Royal Confessions for making sure that we're able to just share you guys some love with you guys. Because, you don't have to be here bright and early in the morning. As Mike City said, he was asleep, but his alarm went off. And so the notification, I appreciate you getting up out of that bed. So with that, I want to say to everybody that came in this morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, BTD Mom. Good morning to the Rebel Inc. Good morning, SK8843. Teresa Jones is in the house. Mike City. Shelby is here, you guys. Jams JJ. We got all of you guys in the house this morning. And for those of you that are not in my chat, I want to welcome you. You are definitely welcome to come jump on in the chat with us because we have some good conversation over in this chat. This chat feeds me. I'm still feasting on Teresa Jones and SK8843. I have decided I want to get a command put out there for leave your mark and mark it, MARKIT, and your market, MARKET. We want to get that out there in the land because, they dropped that in the chat and that thing just sat right down in my spirit. It just sat down. It said, choose a seat and sit down. And it just sat down in me. And I said, oh my God, that was so powerful. And so that's what this chat does for me, you guys. You all have ideas and concepts. I'm throwing stuff out there and you all are throwing stuff right back at me. That's why we call it O Cubed, one-on-one, just me and you. And I appreciate you for coming in the chat. So I want to say good morning to you. For those that want to come in, you're welcome. But if you just want to audit and sit out there and listen to what we talk about, we appreciate you for doing that too. And I know there are some, let me acknowledge this as well, that never come in the chat or very seldom come in the chat, but you get online every day and listen to this podcast broadcast. And I want you to know I appreciate you because just your presence out there, whether you say a word, if you didn't say a word, you just wave your hand. Thank you, Teresa Jones, for liking the stream. Yes, and thank you for reminding me. I want to encourage everybody that can and will like this stream so we can move on up a little higher in that algorithm. We want to move on up a little higher. So share, whatever you can do to help us to push this broadcast up so we can start reaching out to people. Thank you, BTD Mom. Thank you so. Come on. Hey, thank you. It gives me little breaks in there. So thank y'all for putting up with me. I appreciate this conversation with each and every one of you as well. Now, that being said, I want to acknowledge. Now, I want to give a shout out today. I don't do this very often. I have some great mods. I have some great moderators in my channel. The Rebel Inc. does a phenomenal job. Jams JJ does a phenomenal job. Thank you, Mike City, for liking the stream. Yes, Jams JJ does a phenomenal job. BTD Mom. All of you guys that are moderators on this. Thank you, Mike City. Thank you, Mike the Orator, but it's still Mike City. That's right. Every channel you got out there, link it up and like it. I appreciate it. Let me give a shout out to my brothers and my sisters that have channels. Thank you, Sheila Miles, for liking the stream. If you would, good morning, Mel. Good morning. I appreciate you for coming in. That's my high school friend. Oh man, the mods are super dope. They are, and I just wanted to stop. Come on, give them some. Yeah, that's for the mods. They're very critical to what we do, but they're behind the scenes and they make sure that things happen. And they also make sure that some things don't happen when they need to shut it down. So I appreciate them for what they do behind the scenes. Thank you so much. Shout out, Mike City has a channel. I want you all to go out there, connect with him. Shelby Nicole Cosplay has a channel. We want to shout that out too in that chat, if you would. And not last but not least, the Rebel Inc. has a channel that I want to encourage you all to go out there and support. We are supporters one of another, and that's how we're going to make this world different, by supporting one another. That being said, I want to stop for station identification. Thank you to everybody that has subbed. We had some subs already this morning. Good morning, Lynette. Good morning. We had some subs already this morning. Thank you for subbing in. That sub stands for subscriptions. For those that don't know what that is, and then those that want to subscribe, you can be a monthly subscriber by making a donation on a monthly regular. So thank you for the subs that came in. I had a level 3 that came in this morning. I really wanted to let you know I appreciate you for that level 3 sub. Because that's what makes the stream go. And believe it or not, we're constantly working behind the scenes to make it better. I've almost got the call-in line ready for you guys where you all can call in. And I appreciate you, Mike City. You just don't know. We've almost got the call-in line ready where you'll be able to call into the show and be able to talk. We also are just about ready to drive where you can be on video in the show and come in and talk if you want to. So we're moving on up a little higher, but your donations and your support and all the other things make these additions possible as we expand the brand. The Rebel Inc. has been my corporate sponsor from day one, and the Rebel just doesn't stop blessing my soul. I want you all to go out there and check her out at therebelinc.com. Yes, therebelinc.com. Go out there and get you some. Last but certainly not least, on Sunday evenings at 6 o'clock p.m., Yes You with Friends. Now, like we said, our Tuesday through Friday format is Yes You O Cube. That's just me, one-on-one, just me and you. But I have some beautiful friends that have conversation with me every Sunday evening at 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. That would be Jonna, Rhonda, and Tyrone, and the Galactic Supervisor. We have some great, great conversations, and I want to encourage and invite you to come in and be a part of that chat as well. All right, now we're going to get this party started, and we're going to get it crack-a-lacking. So I'm going to call on my friend King Coogee.
King Coogee, he's not here, but put a shout out for him. He is the epitome, just like Mike City and Shelby Nicole cosplay. Rebel's fashion wears very well. I'm telling you, I got some Rebel on today. I'm in Rebel today. So it's very comfortable, wears well, good quality fabric. Go on out there and get you some. King Coogee. He's a part of this stream just by virtue of his heart. And we're one of those that we know, listen, support isn't about, you can't be online with each other every single day, but whenever we can, we show up and we support one another. But even in the way of saying, listen, I want you, STL, to have your own theme music. I want you to have your own play. He went out there and created me what you're listening to as I talk over. And I appreciate him for making that possible for me. No strings attached, none of that. But listen, I'm gonna do everything I can to push all of these individuals, because these are some great people, and they deserve our support for their endeavors. All right, we're gonna get it started while we slumbered, slept, and slobbered. Oh my goodness. You know, I just want to talk about yesterday. All day long, you're going to hear me talk about the word of the day, and I might as well go on and throw it up there. I'll put it back up there later. But listen, I want you to know that this is a Genesis. This is a Genesis. I feel like if you look at what happened yesterday with the changing of the guard and where we are right now, we are right now in the midst of a Genesis. That's going to be my word all day long. There's so many things that popped off yesterday, made the transition of power in government, the transition of power from insanity to being able, while we slumbered, slept, and slobbered, Mike. That's what we talk about. We saw there's a sense and a feeling in the air. One of my friends, Royal Confessions, put up a picture and she said, listen, if You Go Girl was a meme and it had Kamala Harris, Madam Vice President Kamala Harris looking with that look, and Michelle Obama giving that point, and like, hey, you go girl. There is something that has been released into, thank you. Yeah, I had my pearls and my chucks on. I had them on, and thank you all for the love. Y'all gave me mad love on my Facebook page. I appreciate y'all. But yeah, because we were there to represent the new thing that was going on and to represent for my girl, Madam Vice President Kamala Harris. So you just feel all the electricity and the charge that's in the air. You saw unity. You saw a true sigh of relief. Oh my God, the insanity of this madman has ended, and we can finally get into a space and a place of having joy, having appreciation with one another, not having to hear divisive, insane conversation and topics every single day. It's like, can you top yourself and do any worse? But every day he found a way. Hope sprang around the world, SK. That's what I'm trying to say. We saw hope. We saw it manifested. We saw it made flesh. And I look at that and I say, oh my God, this is the Genesis. This is the Genesis. It's a new day. Today is the Genesis. This is Genesis 1 and 1. Can I call it that? This is Genesis 1 and 1. So what did we see? We saw President Biden. And you know what? As I begin to think about that thing, the biggest sigh of relief, I'm telling you, it's like stress just started lifting off of us, Mike. It's just like, what can you say? You know that orange juice is no more. Get that orange juice out the house. Get that orange juice dust. We're done. We're done. Donald Duck and all of his clan, quack, 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 and all of his quackery, it's over. Oh, Lord Jesus, it's, I felt that in my shondo, y'all. I felt that in my shondo. He's gone. Good riddance. and we don't want you back. So all of that was manifested on yesterday. And we did, you know what? We woke up, and I think even like I said this morning, I'm an early riser. That's just naturally my makeup. That's in my DNA. But even this morning, it's like just laying in the bed, just because there's a relief. Plop, plop, fizz, fizz. Oh, what a relief it is. We got spiritual Alka-Seltzer on yesterday. We got Kaopectate, where we were able to flush that mess. Yesterday, when we heard President Biden take that oath of office, we were able to reach back, get that handle, and flush. Woo! All of that was able to just flush right on down the toilet. Because it'd been boiling and boiling all in our bowels. It'd been boiling in our minds. It'd been boiling in our energy. It'd been boiling and boiling. And we finally moved that stuff out. Got all of that diarrhea. Got all of that out of our system. And we retched back. We retched back and flushed that thing. And so now, yes, like I said, Alka-Seltzer Plus, now plop, plop, fizz, fizz. Oh, what a relief it is. I'm trying to tell you, we feel good. Oh, we feel so good. That's a cheer we used to do back at Bonner back in the day. Y'all don't know nothing about that. So at the end of the day, I saw an older, seasoned man that is not, there's something to be said for putting novices, people that don't know what they're doing. Yeah, we want to get as far away from the status quo as possible. Well, there's some good and there's some bad to that, because unless the person is prepared and equipped, you about to have a problem when you get somebody that's brand new. Well, the one thing we can say, we have an older man that can come in and almost be a father, that can almost kind of soothe and smooth some things back to where they need to be, and have that wingspan that can reach out and embrace everybody. He has, in the selection of his cabinet, tried to show that he's about diversity all the way across the board, even into the controversial level of appointing a transgender individual into a high position of office. He's looking out and saying, even in the choice of Kamala Harris, that he's willing to reach out. And yes, and I'm gonna get to this sister a little bit later, but even to the age, he was willing to reach out to Sister Gorman and say, yeah, we've had some great poet laureates, but let's get some youthfulness in this thing. Let's not just see old people, and especially old white men. Let's reach out and show that we're ready to reach across all kinds of aisles and bring in a level of participation that to this day heretofore has been absent and non-existent. So that's what I saw in Joseph Robinette Biden, president, on yesterday. I saw that representation begin to broaden itself and say, where we have, something that constricts and actually was choking us and cutting off our ability to breathe, your knees in my neck, and you're happy about it and tickled, and your people are applauding you, and you got all of your little folks out here acting crazy. We finally got a chance to see that loosened, to see it released, and see it with experience. But experience that's willing to not just say, we're going to do this the same way we've always done it traditionally, but let's go back and let's go back like cornflakes, that commercial, taste them again for the first time. Let's go back and do this again for the first time and see what diversity we can bring to the table to really make this a better world. That's why I said today is Genesis 1:1. So we appreciate President, oh my God, Joseph Robinette Biden. Listen, Amanda Gordon, I'm gonna get to her. I'm gonna get to Amanda SK, because listen, she deserves a conversation all to herself, all by herself. So when I look at the reality That's what I see in him. And then what do I see in Vice President, Madam Vice President Kamala Harris? What I see in her is today, every woman, but especially black women and black little girls, woke up with a determination that said there is nothing that can stop me, because I finally see me in a real place of authority and power. And if she can do it, I can too. If she can do it, my daughter, my granddaughter, all and everybody. And again, I'm going to say, because I understand and recognize that black people have been held with the knee on the neck, but black women especially, and I'm still trying to get to some of my black brothers, not all of them, but some of my black brothers. We need you to get your knee off of our neck too. One of the worst things you can do is to have been oppressed and then turn around and become the oppressor. So at the end of the day, for black women, and the ability to appreciate them from where they are and what they do without always having the title and the label of the angry black woman. And no, we saw so many things flush down the toilet and give us hope, give us life, give us dream and vision manifested. We've always had them, but to have the opportunity to have it manifested, man, that's huge. That is absolutely huge. And so we see with that, President Biden saying, okay, not only am I willing to bring the experience and the expertise of having been in this thing so long, but I'm ready to bring new blood to the dance. And so I'm the dance that President Biden and President Harris are going to have together. I just feel in my shondo. My shondo was busy this morning. I just feel in my shondo because it's hope, y'all. This is Genesis 1:1. It's hope. I just feel down in my shondo. It's going to be a beautiful dance. And then to top it off, the cherry on top was Miss Amanda Gordon. Oh, man. Oh, man. Amanda brought it. She brought it. I mean to tell you, she brought it. I saw the interview with her grandmother, and there was a news team there that was broadcasting while she watched the inauguration from, I believe she's in California. I believe that's correct. Her grandmother was just beaming, and made it unequivocally clear that Amanda has in her sights and goals to run for president of the United States. Yeah. Awesome. This 22-year-old black sister got up. Now, if y'all felt the yellow, put a 1 down in the chat. If you felt that yellow, put a 1 down in that chat. Come on here. That yellow was talking with just a pop of red, with all of that blackness. Baby, it was beautiful. It was, come on with those ones. It was beautiful. And now I'm gonna even digress and stop for a minute there, because you know why I saw another level of beautiful in her blackness, because y'all may not know nothing about this, but I do, because my black skin is blacker than many. And so I can remember we were told, now, stay away from them bright colors because you already black and you don't want to come out looking like sunshine on that black. Baby, I got sunshine on a cloudy day. Sister said, y'all jump back with all of this, what my black skin can wear and what my black skin cannot wear. Now, y'all may not know anything about that, but I'm telling you the truth. Darker complected people were always encouraged to stay away from bright colors because it just doesn't look good on you. That contrast. It just contrasts and highlights how black you are. I love my blackness. And sister got up yesterday with that sunshine on a cloudy day. And she said, look, it's Genesis 1 and 1, y'all. She did that, Rebel. She did that unapologetically. She said, y'all can talk about me if you want to, but I got color on my lips. I got color on my hips. I got color on my fingertips, and I got something to say. Come on, Amanda. I love it. I love it. I love it. Shine it. Shine it. Let the sun shine. And this is even a matter of saying we're in a new day. Stop telling these babies what they can and can't do. Stop telling these babies all of these boundaries and levels of you can do this, but you can't. Listen, just let them shine in the pureness of their light, because they each have a light. Miss Gorman, and as her grandmother talked, she said she has for years said she wants to be the president of the United States, and she's on her way. Well, I have to agree that she's on her way, because listen, we can think, we can be articulate, we can articulate our thoughts clearly, we can be a poet laureate at 22. And listen, I want this to be a phase and stage, Genesis 1 and 1, where our young people begin to feel the hope that I don't have to be just out here wandering around aimlessly. I can have purpose. I can have, by design, a vision. I can have the ability to believe I can reach for the stars. I can even travel onto a whole different galaxy and a whole different star system. I don't have to stay in the Milky Way, Tootsie Roll. I can go on beyond that. And I can go on to a whole, oh, I felt that in my Shondo too. Oh my goodness. Come on, Jams JJ. We changed the narrative on yesterday. It's Genesis 1 and 1. The narrative has been changed. Oh my God. So I hope that you feel that in your world. Now, even with that, I looked, and Viola Davis had a beautiful post that I reposted as well. And she said, this is a new beginning. This is a new start. This is a Genesis. And she said, but even at that, I'm at the point right now where I realize I'm just getting started and I cannot be quiet. I've got work to do, and I've got to roll up my sleeves and work. And so I feel like Dexter and Zion got to go to work while it's day. It's time to go to work. So at this point, the Genesis, the new beginning, is calling us. Oh man, I just love the way. Now listen, y'all had me cracking up talking about everybody, the deacons and the missionaries and the deaconesses that was singing on yesterday, and they took us on to glory. We had church. Did we not have some church? Now y'all tell me, who did you think your favorite musical presentation was? Hey, Jonna, thank you. Thank you for liking the stream. Who did you enjoy the most? Who did you enjoy the most in their musical presentation on yesterday? I enjoyed everybody. It was just like a good old-fashioned church service. It was awesome. It was wonderful. And before I move on, and y'all put who you like down there in the chat. But listen, I would be remiss if I did not acknowledge Mike Pence. Mike Pence, in spite of being a part of one of the craziest, most insane administrations ever, Mike Pence showed tremendous poise, grace, courage, and represented an administration that was just dastardly. But Mike Pence, I have to stop and say thank you. All but Garth was a refreshing surprise. Come on, SK, come on. Listen, you said but Garth. I liked Garth too. I liked Garth too. But I hear you. You got me cracking up. Well, however, I have to say I got some musical connoisseurs and some musical geniuses on this channel. So say what, girl, you know what's up. You know what you're talking about. But I enjoyed everybody. I'm one of my friends told me, Regina, you go to concerts and you go to church, and some of the worst singers be up there and you the only one standing up clapping and encouraging them on. I said, listen, I am that girl, because you thought it good of Mike Pence as well. 100. He gets 100. He gets 100 in my book. But I'm that girl that, listen, when everybody else is sitting there with their face tore up and would you please shut up and sit down, I'm the one in the crowd that's gonna stand up and clap, because I feel like this. If you had the courage to get up there and you're actually trying your best, I'm going to applaud your best. And my girlfriend said, girl, sit down. Stop all of that. You know they need to have 2 seats. Listen, have all the seats. But listen, I just feel like, if you get up there and try, you deserve encouragement from somebody. And even if nobody else, you know how it is. Now, come on, y'all tell the truth and shame the devil. You know that baby is ugly. And you look at that baby and that baby look like Who Shot John, and you almost want to say alien, predator, what is it? But you still have to, and listen, I told off on myself, because I'll be like, just precious. That baby is just so precious. How you doing, sweetheart? How you doing? Oh, she's so precious. He's so precious. Cause I cannot tell a lie. But at the end of the day, that mama and that daddy be like, oh, that baby just beautiful. That baby is just gorgeous. Somebody got to give that baby some praise. Now, I really do believe in praising everybody and everything that God created, and everybody that God created, it was good. So you find some good in it. But y'all know sometimes when they come out, especially when they first come out and they all scrunched up and they all wrinkled up and their eyes are looking crazy and they hairs all over their head. And they come here looking unique, looking real unique. But regardless of the uniqueness of that baby, them parents are gonna love it and give it some praise. Any good parent. And that's the way I feel about everybody. Everybody needs some praise. So there we go. You liked Garth more than you expected to. He actually led the congregation. Did he not lead the congregation in the good hymn of the church? He did a great job. So as we looked on everything that happened without any incident, we had KC PD. I live in Kansas City. We had KCPD that were there in detail, serving the nation. I don't want to miss this. How about the guard or the police officer that was protecting the Capitol on January the 6th and has been hailed as a hero? How about him being chosen to escort Madam Vice President Kamala Harris? I thought that was all right. Because the brother showed up and showed out during that attempted coup. And as they said, yes, we applaud him. I thought, what the organizers did was to try to encompass all of the good and to make as many positive expressions as they possibly could. I want to give him kudos and hats off to him. I heard, y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but I heard that he received a promotion within the department and the force, much deserved, because I feel like this: if you really appreciate the work I did, pay me. Come on, y'all working on those jobs and you get in there for the annual report, you get in there for the annual interview and assessment of how you performed over the year. Oh, they give you all this stellar year after year, but your pay does not increase. Tell them you really don't appreciate me till you pay me. Yes, he did, Teresa. He did a great job. And I am hopeful that he will continue to have longevity within the department. and continue to climb right on up the ladder, because that's how we reward the people that have done honorably. I want us to elevate them. I want us to appreciate them and pay him. At the end of the day, show that you care, increase that salary. So I want to say I felt like they did a beautiful job. Our senator from Missouri, Matt, was there and was a part of the planning committee. And my sister not MC? Did she not MC? She did a great job. I just feel like it was a beautiful celebration all the way around. And then to top it off, when the presidents, the former vice president, pay me, show me the money. When the presidents, Bush, Clinton, and Obama stood together and also gave a unifying speech and encouraging us to come together and work together. I appreciated them. President Jimmy Carter, the MC, Mother MC was great. The rebel, Mother MC was great, and honey, she did her thing. So kudos to her as well. I'll go ahead and give her some applause. I liked how they really did try to think this thing through and make it all encompassing. That's why it's Genesis 1 and 1, because we didn't just see one dimensional, one dynamic, one track mind, one level of representation and participation. We saw genuinely an effort to spread this thing and spread this net as far and as wide as possible. So those three presidents, and the only reason why former President Jimmy Carter was not present was because his health would not permit. I have all kinds of love and applause and appreciation for Jimmy Carter. At 90 something years of age, he still does everything. I saw him the year before last, because last year we were sheltering from COVID-19, but the year before that he was out with his little old precious self, Habitat for Humanity, with the hammer and the nail, helping to build houses out there to show that he really cares about having good quality, fair housing for all. I appreciate Jimmy Carter and the work that he does for humanity and continues to do. And God bless him, even in his inability to be present in the body. I promise you, his soul and his spirit was right there in the midst. But to see those other three presidents, and I have to say Bush was not one of my favorites, but I will say that he has shown brotherhood. He has shown the willingness to reach across the aisle, and regardless, it's a new day. It's a new day. It's a new day. I'm one right now that I'm in the space where I'm not going to continue to hold people in a snapshot of what they did a year ago, 2 years ago, 10 years ago. Let's start with everybody fresh, because what am I saying all day long? It's a Genesis, and this is Genesis 1 and 1. And that being said, you may have somebody in your life, you may have somebody in your space, you may have somebody in your world that you need to start today as a Genesis 1 and 1, because as we saw all of those SK y'all know y'all out of control. But Michelle, since you went there, our president, he'll always be my president and former President Barack Obama and former First Lady Michelle Obama. Oh my God, they deserve it just because of who they are. Those two have to be one of the most regal couples in the world. I just love it. I love it. I love it. But how about that outfit that Michelle had on? Oh my God, it was walking. It was talking. It was prophesying. It was speaking. It was shouting. Baby, she snatched souls. She snatched souls, edges, breath, and eyeballs. Baby, she snatched it all. She snatched it. I said she snatched it. And then on the other side of the coin was Hillary. Now, listen, everybody was keeping track of the Obamas, including the media. Because why? They have left their mark. They have Rebel, I know what you're thinking about. What did Hillary have on, y'all? What did Hillary have on? Loved it, and every strand of that hair was laid, Jonna. She didn't have no edges that had issues. Her edges didn't have no issues. Come on. Hillary on the other hand. But I'm gonna go back to Michelle. Michelle did not have edges. Sisters that are on here, because y'all know the deal. Fix your edges. And you know, Jonna came on here and listen, she said she loved every strand. I got some folk on here that are hair connoisseurs. I'ma tell you what, if your hair got rigged, that means it's all stiff and it's got rigor mortis done set up in it. Listen, if your hair got rigged, you need to work on that. Come on now, if your edges are not right, you are not right. So listen, I got some folk on here. It was snatched. That's what SK said. It was snatched. She snatched the souls. She snatched the edges. She snatched your breath. And she snatched your eyeballs. And now somebody, it was reported to me. It was reported to me that is what President Bush was there for, to get a peek. Y'all silly. Y'all are silly. Hillary just got up and said, I'm gonna get out of bed and I gotta go over here to the White House. Teresa, listen, this coffee, no cream, no sugar. I take my coffee strong and black because I tell it like a T-I-Z tis. Woo! I tell it like it is. Now y'all know I'm telling the truth. I'm telling the truth. Get your coffee cups out because I'm telling the truth. Hillary just got up out all them cups, SK. Hillary just got up out the bed. And she said, I'm Hillary Rodham Clinton. And you wrong for that. Hillary got up. She said, she walked up to her closet and said, what wants to jump on me today? You don't have to be presidential. You don't have to be official looking. That hair. She just got up and she just said, you know, y'all have those days where you just walk up to the closet and say, what wants me to wear it today? Just jump out on me. Just jump out. I'm not gonna coordinate you. I'm not gonna put you together. I'm not gonna iron you. I'm not gonna make any tremendous effort to coordinate. What wants to just jump out on my body today and just jump all over my person? What just wants to jump out? Just leap for joy, leap on my body. Just leap on it. And you don't even have to leap on in any kind of particular order. Just leap on me. Just leap for joy. Well, that's what Hillary's clothes did yesterday. They just leapt on her. They just leapt on Hillary. What are you doing? Girl, listen, and I want to say to all of us older, Hillary needed some coffee. Somebody get her a cup. Woo, because she wasn't awake when she put that outfit on. And she could have marched in with Bernie Sanders. She should have marched in with Bernie. Mother was dressed for a stroll at Antioch Mall. Listen, she said my feet hurt because them shoes wasn't saying nothing. She said my hair is... Be comfy. Honey, she and Bernie should have come in together. because they were dressed for one another. And I said, listen, and they said, this is not about trying to put on no show. This is not about trying to look cute for nobody, because I've already been First Lady. I've already been Secretary of the State. I've already been, Bernie said, doing what I'm doing and a candidate for president. I've already done all of that. Y'all know who I am. You've seen me over and over again. Get over it. This is what you're gonna get. She came to be comfortable and Bernie came to be warm. But at the end of the day, Michelle, you better represent. Now, I'm gonna say this to all of my sisters. You know, we gotta pay attention how we look when we come out the house. Now, because we representing, I said it's Genesis 1:1. This is Genesis 1:1. Some of y'all know, y'all come out, take that head rag off your head, take them curlers out. Listen, them flip-flops that you know are only meant for home, but you keep wearing them to the store. I may be, but eyes here. I need you all to pay attention, not to get the brothers' attention, but listen, I need you to leave your mark. These are lions, and you're going to hear us roar. I had to speak to my own self. Girl, you got to step it up a notch. You got to pull it back together. You got to represent, because listen, this is a new day. It's a new hour. I got to go on. You on international TVs and such, Rebel. That's what I'm saying. You're on the national TV. What are you doing? People are looking. Represent. Come on. Represent. Represent. Represent yourself. Represent. I'm a gift. I'm a gift. I'm all that and a bag of chips. I'm going to represent and represent myself. I'm going to re-gift myself every morning when I get up. Everywhere I go, everywhere I be, I represent. I gift myself to the world. And my first gift I'm going to give you is easy on the eyes. Come on. Let me be easy on the eyes. And if I ain't easy on your eyes, let me be easy to my own eyes. Come on here. Because at the end of the day, it's Genesis 1:1. And so, baby, get up and coordinate yourself. Get up, and because it's a new day. It's a new hour. It's a new being. And listen, that's for the brothers too, because at the end of the day, I want everybody to take on a whole different level. Now, to get back to the serious things at hand, while we slumbered, slept, and slobbered, President Biden really didn't get a chance to take a breath, because he immediately started signing executive orders and trying to roll back some of this mess that has been left on his plate. And he's got a whole lot of mess to correct. So he immediately went, and I want to give kudos to one of the organizations here locally that has come up as far as they organized behind the moratorium against evicting people, especially during COVID-19. There are people that have been displaced. When I was in LA, and LA has one of the worst homeless populations and one of the worst homeless situations anywhere in this country. And you can go anywhere and see a shanty town, and they're just plentiful. And I was there, as you know, in November with my dear friend during the recovery from her surgery. My nephew came and picked me up, and I got to spend time with him. And when you go to certain areas of LA, you see nothing but just shanty towns everywhere, just tents and or no tent, maybe a basket, maybe not even a basket, but just all my stuff in my space, and this little plot of land is mine. Unfortunately, as I was there, yeah, he has a stack 2 feet tall, and he's got a lot to work through, Jams JJ, because there's a lot to deal with. But he definitely did address in that stack on yesterday the displacement of people during this time of COVID-19 who really cannot, please don't put them out on the street. We saw, and I heard for the first time Representative Emmanuel Cleaver, and I was glad to finally hear his voice on yesterday and this morning as we slumbered, slept, and slobbered. And he came out saying we need an immediate action to what was passed back in the spring of last year, but that got held up for financial relief to individuals that are facing eviction. I believe it was 8 million. Is that the right? Don't let me quote the number because I don't remember. But whatever that number was that Congress had already approved, and it got blocked by the last administration. He was saying we need an immediate release of that money. And you know, I said it like this from day one. All they really needed to do was just halt everybody where nobody owed anybody. If you had a mortgage, you owed nobody. Now, you know, I know that at the end of the day, some people are like, well, we just couldn't operate like that. I feel like we could have, because if nobody owed anybody, if my landlord is demanding my rent, it's probably because my landlord has a mortgage or bills that they need to pay. If we would just shut it down and just say everybody be cool, but that's not going to happen because the people at the top that's collecting that money are not going to miss their money. And so what did we see? During the pandemic, while so many of us were going to the dogs and being evicted, the people at the top were making more money than they've ever made. And this is the thing that is a problem in the United States of America, where we allow this division of financial standing. We allow the chasm between us to get wider and wider and wider. This is what needs to be addressed. If those greedy people at the top that really didn't need that money, they wasn't going to die, they wasn't going to lose anything. They're multi-billionaires and beyond. They were not going to lose anything by not collecting, but they're so greedy. Rather than to suspend all of that at the very, very top echelon, it was, you gonna pay me and you're gonna give to me, even though you have nothing and nowhere to draw from to give it. And then to have the nerve to start putting people out and evicting them. It's shameful. Listen. I thought since I can't call his name, 45 was gone, I wouldn't have to do this again. I thought we were going to retire the devil a little bit, but could it be? Could it be? The devil? At the end of the day, it ain't nothing but that old slimy devil. Greed that would not release the people from the debt. Ain't nothing but that old slimy devil. And again, I want to say in like March or April, the number of how much millionaires and billionaires had made during the pandemic was staggering. Now, if you take that, it was a year ago yesterday that the first case of COVID was reported in the United States of America. A year ago yesterday. And we're well over the 400,000 mark dead, and so many others traumatized and affected by this pandemic. So many that have lost jobs, and we want to be happy about a $600 little stipend piece of money. We want to be happy about a one-time $1,200 check. That was not going to scratch the surface in any way, shape, or form. It wasn't even the beginning of the tip of the iceberg. So my thing, and we have a group here in Kansas City that was very, very instrumental and very vocal. They roared and they roared and they roared. They roared to the point here in Kansas City. They were barring the doors and putting chains and locks on. And I mean, it seemed crazy and it seemed radical. But their point was, if you can't hold a hearing to evict, you can't evict. So, I mean, at the end of the day, while I was out in LA, I saw time after time after time the news reports that were showing them executing evictions. And probably the saddest one that I watched was a little old woman that could barely walk, a little old elderly woman that could barely, and so one of the neighbors went inside and at least got her a chair while the sheriffs were there evicting and displacing her from her home with nowhere to go. They went and got her a chair so she could sit down. That is a vision that I will never forget, and that is a vision of what we're working to turn around. That was one of the executive orders that President Biden did sign on yesterday. Those here in the city are saying it still didn't take it far enough because some people are in dire straits and they have nowhere to go. They've been out there, and our homeless population. Now we've got all these abandoned buildings. We've got all of these former hotels, hospitals shut down. We got all these spaces and places, but we still have people all over the streets. Something is wrong with that. And I'm one of those in Genesis 1:1 that says, okay, it's a new beginning. What do we need to do to be able to go into some of these empty dwellings and spaces and places and make it habitable for all of these people that are out here on the street? That's a job to be done. That's a Genesis 1:1 endeavor. Because nobody wants to live on the street that's in their right mind, typically. So, you know, and for those, even if that's where you want to be, fine. But for those that want to be off the streets, this is the United States of America. Nobody should be forced to be on the streets when they do not want to be on the street. And there's enough space. I drove out. Some of you from my area, I drove out to the mall that was all of that back in the day, in the 80s and the 90s, and everybody was going out to Odessa. Odessa was the big shopping mall, and they had popped up all over the place, even out in Olathe, what was it, Great something, whatever that was, I can't remember. You had all these shopping malls that popped up. I just drove out there the other day just to drive and to take some time away from the city, and it's not that far out, but I just drove out there. All of that is just vacant, abandoned property just sitting there. The Great Mall of America, that's what it was. We got all of these different places that developers came in. We're still talking about greedy people in the United States of America. Developers came in, paid little to no taxes, got all kinds of incentives, got all kinds of breaks, went in and got that money, took it, ran with it, went on about their business. That mall thrived for 4 or 5 years, and then that mall shut down. And now we just got vacant properties out there, but we got homeless people on the street. We need to rethink all of these dynamics. We need to rethink all of these different areas of how can we adjust this and make it different. So President Biden did sign an executive order to address that. Those are the types of things that DACA, he came in, you know, will we ever lose the vision of the children in cages that have been separated from their parents, and parents that have now been deported and sent back? And so you got children here underage with no parents, right down to little babies. Where do they do that at? So a lot of work to be done. But I'm still hopeful because it's Genesis 1:1. But I'm going to take it up like Viola Davis said. Even though I see a new start, even though I see a new beginning, what that says to me on this day when I wake up, I have work to do. And I think all of us, I want to encourage all of us, that's the mindset I feel like we've got to have. We cannot rest on our laurels and get comfortable because the transition has taken place. The power shifted, but we got to keep pushing that power. We got to keep prodding that power along so that we can get to our next place of destination, because this is just the very beginning of where we want to be. All right. So at the end of the day, I really will probably stop with that. As far as the news, there was a whole lot going on yesterday. I'm gonna shut it down as far as while we slumbered, slept, and slobbered. That COVID number is still ticking, and the president did sign into effect a federal plan to deal with COVID-19 and getting the vaccinations out to everybody and doing a job to shut it down so we can get back to some normalcy in our life. Now, that being said, the vaccination process, and I'm gonna ask it one more time. 1 for yes, 2 for no. God help us to work and keep positive momentum. We got to do it, and we can do it. All we got to do is keep our hand to the plow and keep our nose. Hey, we got to grind it. We got to grind. Now, I want to come to the question: 1 for yes, 2 for no. Who is willing to take this vaccine? Who's willing to take the vaccine? 1 for yes, I'll take it. 2 for no. Where y'all at? Where y'all at? Now, while y'all putting that in there, let me continue on with my conversation with regard to that. Oh, come on here. Come on, I got a 1. I got a 1. I got a 1. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. I got a 1, Jesus. I got a 1. The heavens have opened up. Oh, I got another one. Jams said no. Listen. Jams is like, listen, did you get the heavenly? Listen. We gonna let him. I got 2 1s and 1 2. The heavenly host has opened up for the 2 1s. Well, this is my thing, and as we're looking at a small quantity of people, now this is what's cracking me up. All of these people that said that it was a hoax, it wasn't real, there's nothing out there, they made this up. These people are running. I said running to get this vaccine for this hoax. Now, what I don't want to see, and I had to address this because I have a parent, my mother, who was hospitalized, as many of you all know, and on yesterday evening she was blessed to go to rehab. But this was my question, because she is a prime candidate for somebody that needs the vaccine, in my opinion. And I know you all have your ideas, but she's got all of the risk factors and all of the health conditions, and she's in a somewhat debilitated state. She has sheltered at home throughout, so she's been protected and safe. But then her biggest exposure has been at the hospital. And then when I go over and look at the scenario of now being put in a place that they do have outbreaks, I'm like, I asked the hospital, can y'all give her a vaccine? Can she be vaccinated? No, we're not giving vaccine to patients. Now they're doing in the hospital, first responders, they're doing all these other people and but we can't vaccinate her. Now, unfortunately, during the time window that she was hospitalized, her facility where she lives came in and did vaccines. So all of her co-tenants, good BTD mom, main man did it yesterday, good. The scenario is now playing out that while she's been hospitalized, her facility was all vaccinated, but she missed the vaccine because she was in the hospital. But she's in a hospital that will not vaccinate patients. So then I asked the rehab facility, will you all vaccinate my mother? Because, first and foremost, have you all had outbreak? The answer is yes. How is it being dealt with? Well, that was some time ago, but we do have a ward and we do have some patients that have COVID, but they're in a totally separate, isolated space. I get it. But there's COVID in your building. And my mother has not been vaccinated. Have your people been vaccinated? Yes, they have, but they did that such and such a time, and they won't be back until February such and such a time. And if she's here when they come back in February, then she can be vaccinated. But in the meantime, my mama is exposed. I'm not happy. Because this is the way the system is set up. And this is my thing. there are those that really, really are candidates that, in my opinion, and again, and I asked her, it wasn't a matter of me. Now, I strongly encouraged her. I feel like if we can get you a vaccine, you need to be vaccinated. But she wants to be vaccinated. This is the thing. So now, just because we had a situation where her facility got vaccinated while she was in the hospital where they refused to vaccinate, and then got transferred to some place where they've already vaccinated the first go round, and she'll have to be there for the second go round if she gets it. And then if she's not there, where she's gonna go to get vaccinated when she gets out? I mean, we really, really, really need to look at how President Biden has put that initiative in motion to make sure that these vaccinations are getting out. And I still have to say, for those that end up being pushed around and slipping through the cracks, that want to be, now if you don't want to be, that's fine and that's good, that's your prerogative. But in a given situation, the way that my mom has slipped through the cracks with being vaccinated, we got to look at scenarios like that and say, how can we address this and how can we make it better? I do, in my own way, want to make, if you will, some plea to people of color, because at the end of the day, if we end up and ain't no more vaccine, and they can come back and say, but y'all didn't want to take it, and again, I want you to pay attention. Folks that were saying it was a hoax and they don't believe in it and wouldn't wear masks, baby, their arms have been poked. Do you hear me? They have been stuck with the needle. They have received unto themselves the blessing of the vaccine. While, say no, and I feel you, but I'm saying to those that want it, I'm still looking at, are we about to be left out, y'all? And left in the wind flapping if it gets down to a point, because now, and I bring it up for this point, I'm going somewhere. These variants of COVID-19 that have come out, and this was why we slumbered, slept, and slobbered. These variants of COVID-19 are much more, they're easier to catch, easier to spread. And I'm looking and I'm saying, I looked at that little virus and, I saw the initial virus, and then they had a picture of all of these variants that are coming out. And I said, spread much more easily. I just want us to think some are paying to move in line per news reports. And that's what I'm saying. So are we now about to position ourselves once more and again where money and the status quo and the elite all end up being vaccinated, and then we sitting out here with this virulent virus that's taking us out of here, and we are unprotected. I just want us to pay attention. I want us to stay woke, because listen, and I get it. Somebody said, but yeah, are we going to get the same vaccine that those people are getting? I hear all of that. I understand all of it. But I'm still coming back to say, is that not the same tactic that is used, same candy bar, different wrapper, for voter suppression? Are these not the same tactics that are used to herd us in a direction and into an answer that's already been premeditated on their part? They know black folk gonna say no. They know black folk are gonna be suspicious. So, hey, let's set this situation up. Let's create it so that we get them in a position. We already know what they're going to say, but pay attention, because the folks out there who won't wear a mask and those folks out there who said it was a hoax were some of the first people in line. The news just stated that the tourists in Florida are getting the come on, Teresa, come on. The tourists in Florida are getting the vaccine. I don't want us to listen. I'm reminded of one of those old church songs we used to sing at our church, right at altar time, to make you get scared and go up to the altar and say, I want to be saved. I want to be saved. I want to be saved. Well, you really didn't want to be saved. You were scared. But we sang a song that the words to the song were, don't let it be said too late to enter the golden gate. You know, I just want to say to black folk, don't let it, and I ain't talking about hell, I'm talking about this vaccine, or you might be in a living hell. Don't let it be said too late. And I'm not trying to scare you. I just want us to think it through and say, is there something maybe undercurrent sinister going on here that there's already anticipation that we're going to say no, we're going to resist, we're going to refuse it, but these folks are lining up, and as SK 8843 said, they're paying to move up in the line, and as Teresa just brought to our attention, they are, Florida vacationers are getting the vaccine. But my mama can't get the vaccine. I want y'all to think about that. I want y'all to think about it. Think. Ain't that what Rita said? Think. I want you to think about it. And I want you to process it. And if after you really processed it, your Shondo, let me bring Shondo back. Not in the same way y'all normally see it, but it's still, if your Shondo continues to tell you no, so be it. But I want it to be because you researched it, you've sought it out, and you've done everything you can to have knowledge drive your answer. And see, I get it with Jams JJ. Jams JJ has worked in the medical field all of her life, and she may be privy to some knowledge and stuff I don't know. Hey. But at the same time, people need to take the survey to get a time slot if you qualify. And that's the other thing, because even our governor here, he said, now some of you all are going to qualify, but even though you qualify, that doesn't automatically mean that it's going to be available to you. So I want us to pay attention to that, you know, and I really want a release of statistics, even though I know the statistics right now are going to be skewed because black folk won't take it. But I want a release of statistics as to who has already, because there are some that now they've already got their first and second round. There are some people that have already got their first and second round. I want to see the demographics on that, and I can almost guarantee you that those statistics are not going to be in black folks' favor. So you got a small handful that already has a full round, 2 rounds of vaccination. And then some of us out here can't get the first. I want to see some numbers. I want to see some statistics. But again, Teresa is exactly right. Take that survey and get you a time slot if you qualify. And even then, as the governor said, you still may not be able to get it. So I want us to stay woke. Listen, it's Genesis 1:1. Genesis 1:1. I need you here to do the work. I need you here to be able to do the work. The survey asks for your zip code. Interesting, because there's some tracking there. That is definitely a tracking tool. So as we look, I'm gonna say it one more time, but if the zip code that's a black zip code or heavily populated black zip code is saying no, they ain't worried. They know you ain't coming. Houston, there is a problem. Now, I want to move on, if you will. And I want to, again, Genesis 1:1. I want y'all healthy. I want you here, and I want you able to do the work that you are here to do. God, why did you create me? What am I here for? As I talk about the Genesis, and it's all of our beginnings, it's a new beginning for all of us. And we're going to come on to the word of the day, and I'm going to get up out of your hair. The new beginning that we've come to, and the time and the season that we've now entered, it's a Genesis. It's a new day. Genesis 1:1. I do this, and I'm gonna kind of share from a theological standpoint, and you don't have to agree with my theology. That doesn't bother me, but I do want, for some it's new. Many of you, it's not going to be new. Genesis 1:1 and Genesis 1:2. In many theological circles, it's believed that there was some kind of catastrophic event that occurred between Genesis 1 and 1, Genesis 1 and 2. A lot of that is some of the science of the ice age and other things that we talk about that happen, that sometimes, people that are literal Bible believers cannot reconcile. The number of years, the different things that happen, things that science has proven and discovered, it doesn't line up, so it seems, with the Bible in some areas, because where's that at? We don't see that in the Bible. Some of it, to me, is a matter of I happen to be from the theology and the theological background that believes that there was something that happened between Genesis 1 and 1 and Genesis 1 and 2 for those that embrace the Bible as a word of wisdom and knowledge. So from that standpoint, for those that believe like I believe, whatever happened in between there, the earth had to be repopulated, the earth had to be renewed, the earth had to be regenerated. It wasn't that the earth was made form and void, but something caused it to be made form and void from the time that God created the heaven and the earth. So as we look at that type concept, whatever that was, then there's a recreating and a coming back, a regeneration, if you will. Not just a Genesis, but a regenesis, if I can speak it that way. Like I said, I'm not just a present, but I'm a re-present. I'm a represent. We're going to do it again. So I feel like this is the season and time where we're going to start to see all of these things spring back again, the way that it was meant to be, even in a Garden of Eden experience. The way we saw man and woman, humanity, Hadam, that word Hadam is for humanity. It's not gender oriented. So if I understand that we're taking the world and the earth back to a phase and a season of the way it used to be, Barbara Streisand, the way we were. If we're about to go back to the way we were, and I'm not talking about after whatever happened between Genesis 1 and 1 and 1 and 2, but I'm saying take it back to the beginning. Go back to that place where we see unity. We see, I'm not scared of a snake. I'm not scared of and I'm talking here more philosophical, rhetorical, not necessarily literal, but I'm not scared of a snake. So for me, it's literal. Some of y'all like, oh, I can't take it. I'm not scared of snakes. So at the end of the day, where everything resided in unity and harmony, I'm talking about the harmony, the harmonious existence of everything together and nobody being threatened by or to another. I feel like that's the place that we're going. I feel like Amanda Gorham, our poet laureate, the poem that she crafted, the words that she spoke, the potential and the ability to give us hope that we can get there. I believe with all my heart that we can get there. But I believe that we're going to have a Genesis, or even, if you will, a regenesis, all the way back to the beginning to get us back to all that we were created to be. So what was the question I've been telling you guys? Stop asking first and foremost, God, what do you want me to do? But your first question and point of order is, God, who did you create me to be? Who do you want me to be? Because once I know who you want me to be and who I am, then that dictates to me and gives me the direction and the idea and the orders of what I am to do. Put it in that order and you can come into some perspective. Yesterday we talked about roaring. The day before that we brought up the whole concept of finances. So as I'm saying, get debt free. That's our new wealth. I don't owe you. I don't owe your mama. I don't owe anybody. Get yourself debt free. And I'm saying, even let's go and transcend, because wealth is not just in a monetary of what you possess monetarily. It's not just in your possessions, but wealth is also, I don't owe anybody in my emotions. I don't owe you, and you don't owe me. Release your debtors. Release your debtors. As we forgive our debtors, as forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Come debt free in this Genesis. Release everything that's got bondage and hold and sway over you, because I promise you, if we're even talking about the unforgiveness that may be in your heart, if we go to that place of living in wealth, the only person that is blessed by forgiving is the person that is forgiving. Let me reverse that, because that's not an accurate statement. Because you're not the only person, but the only person that's hurt and wounded. Let me come from that perspective. When you don't forgive, is you. Now that is an accurate statement. You're robbing yourself of your own wealth. You're robbing yourself of your own wealthy place. So as we come into this Genesis, and I'm talking about finances, and I'm talking about in all segments of existence, I want to be wealthy in my mind. I want to be wealthy in my relationships. I want to be wealthy in my family. Yes, I want material wealth to be evident in my world and in the loved ones that are around me. But I want to have that balance where it's going all the way across the board in every area of my life. I'm looking for it holistically and not just in a segment. And I think this is really, it speaks to those that become greedy. I got wealth and I want more wealth, and they're just talking about money and possessions and things in the natural and the carnal without looking at, oh, but I'm bankrupt in my humanity. I'm bankrupt in caring for other people. I'm bankrupt in sharing with those that don't have out of my overflow and my abundance that I have. I'm too greedy to give it to somebody else, unless it's going to have a personal benefit that comes back to me. Because I'm going to say this again, a lot of those top wealthy people that are philanthropists, they do philanthropy not because they care about the people or the causes that they're giving money to. There is a benefit that comes back to them for giving the gifts and the donations that they give. So it's still self-serving. But I want to talk about, we come to a place, and come on, Lynette, we come to a place where we're not doing things that we do for serving purposes that care nothing about the other people that are in our world and the people that are around us. That's the world that I want to see, and that's the Genesis 1:1 that has begun, where we're no longer just greedy for me, myself, and I, but we genuinely care about one another. But I do care about myself as well, for all of you that care for everybody else more than you care for yourself. Come back to the middle and get that balance. Come back to the Genesis movement, Genesis 1:1. I'm not going to love you more than I love myself, but I'm not going to love myself and forget about you, and I could care less about you. So as we come into this place of Genesis, the wealth, the finances that we're talking about, and again, roar. What did I talk about on yesterday? It's the squeaky wheel that gets the oil. And that was what we always said amongst ourselves when we would go into our grant time of the individuals that were coming. And again, trying to talk to people that did not know about the grants that were out there. And yes, I had a manager, a supervisor that was very dedicated to bringing people of color into the process. And so we get on the phone and say, hey, this is out there. You may qualify. Come in and you can pick up the materials. You can pick up your grant packet here and within this time window, and you need to get it back at da-da-da-da-da. As we look at all of those different elements and aspects, it's the squeaky wheel that gets the oil. It's the idea, and I told Teresa SK8843, I want a command on my channel, because you all said something yesterday, and I put it over. I took it to Discord and I posted it. Leave your mark. Leave your mark. Mark it, MARKIT, and Marquette, MARKET. Leave your mark. And Teresa gave that nugget, and it just blessed me so. And I'm still saying to you, we are lions, and you're going to hear us roar. Leave your mark. And then when we talked about the animal kingdom and how they mark their territory, and SK came behind Teresa with the idea they're gonna smell me even when I'm gone, because that's how the marking of the territory. Even if that lion needs to leave that area for a season to do whatever, the mark is left. And so even when that lion is not there, the other animals that come and they smell it, they know that this is the territory of this particular lion, and whether they're there or not, their territory is marked. That's what I want you to be, that impactful in what we're doing now in the Genesis 1 and 1. I need you to leave your mark, and I need you to leave it to an extent that your fragrance and your scent and your smell is there even after you're gone. Now, with that being said, I looked, and that took me, because I kind of go in a different way than a lot of people. My brain just works differently, y'all. I can't help it. So from that, I actually started thinking about, my word yesterday was roar. My word yesterday was roar. So then my mind went to, what is so unique in particular about the lion's roar? So, I went out and I pulled some material up and I looked at that. Now, it's their way of communication. It's their way of having conversation. So when I looked at it, and there are only 4 species that have the ability to have the roar. I think it's the lion, the tiger, the leopard, and what was the other one? Not that that's, some of y'all like little information like that, but other people could care less. But when I look at the uniqueness of it, the lion is most distinct because of its ability for the voice box and the bones expand. Hear me. The voice box and the bones expand. I'm saying something here. Y'all catch me in the spirit. I need you to get it down in your shando. The voice box and their bones expand. And that is what gives them the ability to make that huge roar. And so I'm telling you, even as we're talking about roar and what does roar mean, and I'm gonna go back, leave your mark and leave that fragrance, leave that scent that even when you're gone, it's still there. I need your voice box and your bones in larger territory. I need your voice box and your bones, expand my bones. I need your voice box and your bones to expand. Now, it says that a lion's roar can be heard for more than 5 miles radius. I need you to understand and recognize that it's not just in your immediate space that your roar will be heard, but I need you in your mind to expand and understand where we're going now in this Genesis 1 and 1 season. I'm no longer confined to, you can do that little purr. And lions can purr, and they can do a real quiet purr, and then sometimes they kind of get a little, but when they roar, it transcends beyond their immediate space and their immediate place, and it now extends in a radius so wide and so far. The article talked about if you were anywhere close, you could feel a full reverberation in your chest of the lion's roar. That's how powerful it is. And it's utilized to show power. It's utilized to send a message to the rest of the pride, the P-R-I-D-E. This pride, P-R-I-D-E, is relentless, and you're going to hear us roar. It sends signal and information and communication. And this is something I want us to understand, particularly for those in this hour that are apostolic or leaders, or we're the ones that are boldly going where no man has gone before. And believe me when I'm saying this, I'm not talking about from the religious terminology. I'm talking about life, and life expanded beyond just the walls of a church. I'm talking about life in the world that we're going out to in this Genesis to regenerate the earth. Understand that if the lion, anytime it's for warning of enemies in the territory. So if the lion is not communicating warning, then we have the ability for the predator to come in and take advantage. And I'm saying this especially to the black community. I'm saying it to everybody, but especially to the black community. I need you to roar, because that communication, when the predator is in our territory because we've already marked it. We've already marked it. We've already gone around, and our scent is throughout. Our scent has been spread. We've markit it, and we also have come to a place of market it. When we've put our stuff out there and there's a predator that would want to come in. Okay, so I'm gonna say it from this standpoint. If I see something trying to come in and tear down Rebel, I'm gonna roar. If I see something come in and try to tear down Shelby Nicole Cosplay or Mike City, I'm gonna roar. If I see something trying to come in and tear down Teresa and what she has marked and what she has marketed, and this is a word for somebody, because some of you guys come up with ingenious ideas and people come in and steal your ideas, baby. They steal your very essence, everything that you are, everything that you've done, and I understand imitation is the greatest form of, they say, flattery, whatever you want to say, but understand there's certain things you're gonna need to get a trademark. There's certain things you're gonna need to get a copyright. Are you hearing me? Y'all doing the songs and the music and this and that. There's certain things you're gonna have to do to protect your brand. Whatever that may be, protect your brand. And you are your greatest brand. Being you is your greatest branding. So as we move into different realms in this Genesis 1-in-1 season, I need us to understand that there is that ability of the lion to roar and roar warning. Now, I also understand that it can actually, as lions mature, a great sign of maturity, lions will roar more. And something in me has to think, there's a confidence that comes, by now, as I'm getting older and as I'm maturing, I'm coming into new levels of knowledge, experiential knowledge. I've gone through this. I've had this battle with these other lions, not to kill each other, but we may be, if I go back to the base instinct of animal kingdom, we fighting over this female. Who's gonna win? Who's gonna win? Who's gonna win the prize? I want to just make it a prize. I don't want to give it gender. Who's gonna win the prize? I'm not saying be killer, but y'all know they had to get out there and at the end of the day, let's go back to Lion King. You're gonna get out there and there's gonna be some scars out there. And I'm talking about Scar the animal, the lion in Lion King. It's gonna be some scars out there. And Scar might get a good cut on you. But at the end of the day, you got to come back bolder and stronger and win the battle. So I'm trying to encourage us even in the roar. And sometimes the roar is indicative of the power. As I read through it, it's like the roar and the power of the roar and the intensity of the roar. When that roar indicates and displays power, I'm just talking about the roar. I'm not talking about anything else. I'm just talking about the roar. When the roar, by essence of the power that it comes forth with, when the roar is put out there in its purest, sometimes that's all that's needed without taking a swipe, without taking a fight. Sometimes that's all that's needed to make all of its opposition back away. Because the power of the roar. And it's watched and observed, because this was coming from somebody that this is what they deal with. This is what they do. Lion. Their life is lions and what lions do and the habitat and da-da-da-da-da-da. And the observation brought forth that the more they matured and the stronger those lions were, the more they begin to come into their roar. It was like a sign of maturity, and that maturing power was on display to let the rest of the pride, Pride, know that that lion was coming into its wealthy, healthy, mature place and taking its rightful position as leader in the pride. And I want you to hear what I'm saying. I need you to take it beyond just hearing words in the natural, and I need you to pull this into your shando and begin to hear it by the Spirit. As you mature in who God created you to be, in this Genesis 1:1, it's a Genesis, you all. As you come into a clarity, and initially it said it'll just, the lion will initially use the roar very minimally in its immaturity. But the more it grows and the more worldly its understanding expands the territory of its wherever it's marked, the more it expands and they come into that, the more and the stronger the roar becomes. And so I need us to take this, and that's why I said, even when you start talking about even in our financial, because that's the foundation, y'all. We've got to rebuild the Genesis, the beginning. We've got to rebuild our financial foundation and structure, because right now it's not built as a community. It's not solid. It's not solid, and especially in the Black community, it's not solid. And so when we start talking about how are we going to rebuild it, we're coming into a place now where we know who we are. I know, God, who did you create me to be? And as I begin to manifest who God created me to be, and I'm going to say this even to your imitators, when your imitators reproduce, because you're going to reproduce after your own kind, but as you reproduce after your own kind, they not going to come and take your whole stick, rebel. They will give reverence and deference and honor to those that have parented them. Hear me when I say this, because you got to also come into, and you're going to hear me roar. You come into that place of understanding. Are you for me, or are you here just to eat me up? And when I say eat me up, consume everything that I'm bringing to the table. Consume everything about what I'm doing. Listen, you got to pay attention, because there is a difference. If your baby, and these are babies that could care less about their parents. If your baby is just here to get what they can get from you, if your offspring and your chitlins, if your chitlins are just there to eat up your stuff, no ma'am, no sir. The Menendez brothers, was that their name? The Menendez brothers, two of the murderous siblings that killed their parents because they didn't want to wait to get the inheritance, so they killed their mom and their daddy and went start immediately on the town. If your offspring come at you like that, that's the wrong. No. Roar. Matter of fact, before they get up on you, roar with power. What did I say? Allows and creates the roar that's different from any other creature, any other species. Only 4 can do it. Lion at the top of the list. I've expanded my bones and I've expanded my voice box. You gonna get up off of me, and you not even gonna get close up in my territory. While you're 5-mile radius away, I've already spotted you, and I'm sending the signal, because I am enlarging my territory and I'm building my foundation. And so this is where we've got to be very, very aware and alert. Pay attention, and especially when you start talking about resources and finances, and I'm talking about the whole gamut, not just in one arena and one area. And again, I'm gonna go back even emotionally, spiritually, whatever other Lee you want to put in there. Get all the Lees together and roar for all of them, all of those areas. Pay attention. Expand your bones. Everybody that wants to be in relationship with you is not there just for good pleasure and good measure. I need you to expand your bones and expand your voice box. And I need you to roar. And as you mature, and as you've gone through experiential battles that have shown you, when people show you who they are, believe them. Because I'm building a dynasty. I'm building something that is going to leave legacy long after I'm gone. I'm building something that's going to change the world. And I'm no longer making a living, as Royal Confessions told us on Sunday, but I'm living my making. I'm not just making a living, I'm living my making. I was created for this, and I'm very clear on it. And I'm very clear that this is Genesis 1:1 today. And I'm very clear that my roar is needful in this hour for the world to become the world that we want to see. I cannot be silent. And the silence of a lion, again, is most indicated in their immaturity. But as they come into their own, T'Challa, show them who you are. I need you to roar. This pride, Pride, of lions is relentless. And you're going to hear us roar. And so as I come into the place of understanding the purpose and how my roar is needed and what it does in the place of my territory, I want you to understand, listen, now the one thing about lions, and they said lions are one of the most social of the big cats. We understand it's not just about me, myself, and I. They don't run singly. They run in a pride, Pride. They go in a pride of lions. They go in a group, and they are the largest, and they do that. Why? Because they understand the strength of a kingdom in numbers. They understand the strength of a kingdom networked. They understand the strength of a kingdom united. If I have a whole pride of lions, tell me who can stand before us when the Lion of the tribe of Judah comes out on the... Ain't nothing gonna stop my grind. Ain't nothing gonna stop my flow. Ain't nothing gonna stop the destiny that was mine from the very beginning. But I understand it's not just my destiny, but it's our destiny together. So then I recognize that what I have is for you and what you have is for me. And we have this interconnectedness that's healthy. We have this interdependence that is not devastating, but it's there to help build up. It's there to help establish. It's there to help protect. It's there to help do whatever we need to do to have the strongest, most prideful, Pride, prideful kingdom in all the land. And I don't know about you, but it's just my natural character. I don't like to be second place. Now, I understand there are times I'm not going to always be first place, but you best believe I'm running for first place. I didn't run track to come in second. I ran track to come in first. And that's the way I live. Now, I will cooperate with everybody else, because then when they put me in the relay and said, I need you to run a leg, then I understand this is not my race alone. I got others on my team. And so the team is dependent on me. And so I'm going to run the best leg I can. But when I've finished my leg, I'm going to pass the baton to the next runner. It's not all about me. And I'm going to give that next runner the best advantage I can give them. But at the end of the day, I want everybody on my team to understand I want first. I ain't running for second place. And I need you to reach for the highest, best you that you can be. I need you to not settle. I need you to feel empowered. I have the power to come in first. Our team, come on. This pride is relentless, and you're going to hear us roar. Stop running for second, third, fourth, and fifth place. I want our young people to reach for the top. I wanted to start in preschool. Matter of fact, I wanted to start in the womb. I told them when I was teaching and preaching years ago, I said, talk to that baby in the womb. Tell them, like T'Challa, show them who you are while they still in the womb. Tell them who they are when they pop out of the womb. Tell them who they are. And all of their formative years of growth and growing up, tell them who they are. And help them learn how to roar. Some of us don't know how to roar because nobody showed us. Bones, voice box, how do I put it together to do that? And so you'll run around like every other species as if you don't have the ability to roar. But you are a lion. Your bones and your voice box, they expand to do something that no other species and creature can do. You are uniquely made. You are uniquely designed. And now in this hour of Genesis, we need you to roar. Stop playing second fiddle. Now, that show of power, and I want you all to hear that. I think that Marianne Williamson, in her poem, said, our greatest fear, it ain't all these other things out there. Beloved, many of us are scared of our own power. We're scared of our own power. Hear me. We've had so many people tell us who we're not, what we can't do, where we can't go. And that's the beauty that I feel we've come into with the dawning of the new day that we saw on yesterday. When we saw Madam Vice President Kamala Harris take that oath of office, she showed us who we are. And that we do not have to be afraid of our power. Am I talking to anybody in here? We do not have to be afraid of our own power. And in our youthfulness, we may not have vocalized much. In our fear, we may not have vocalized much. In our insecurity, we may not have vocalized much. In our oppression, we may not have vocalized much. Good morning, Tosh. In our areas where we were not taught to be empowered, we may not have vocalized much. All of that, again, is indicative to our immaturity. But now that we have matured, now that we have confidence, now that we know who we are, now that we know what we have, now that we have seen the model materialize right before our very eyes, now that we've seen and know that it is possible, now that I hear Amanda Gorman say, I not only have something to say, but I have something that I plan to be. Because I believe that this is who I am, I can roar. I can roar. Because I know I have the power. And this is the genesis of everybody that's under the sound of my voice today. And even those that are out in the airwaves of the frequency. Because it just goes on and on and on and on, just like radio waves. Every person that's going to be touched by this frequency and this undying, never-ending energy and word that I'm putting into the atmosphere, the genesis has begun. And it's your time to roar. And when we even the roar, when we mark our territory through the roar, not just the scent, but the sound. I'm going to say it again. Not just the scent and the fragrance of the aroma, but the sound. When we mark the territory with the sound and the scent. This is only the beginning. You ain't seen nothing yet. 2021, oh my God. The power that you're about to see in this coming year is going to transform this world. And that power is in you. So I'm going to go back to what Viola said as I close out. Viola Davis said, I woke up this morning and realized I've got work to do, because this is only the beginning. Genesis, this is only the beginning. Let's get busy. We're going to do this. We're going to change the world. We're going to make a difference. Oh my God, I'm just excited. I don't know what to say. Can you feel a brand new day? I do. I hope that you do too. So no longer, I'm going to talk directly to some of y'all. Teresa, girl, the power of your voice and the wisdom. Good morning, Monica. Thank you for sharing the stream. The power of your voice and the wisdom of what you have to say. And I'm going to say this. Thank you, SK. Drink that coffee, because even your power and your wisdom, this is your time. This is your season. This is your hour. You've got voices. You've got roars. Not only the fragrance of your scent to mark this new territory, but the sound. Scent and sound. Scent. SCENT. And scent. SENT. SCENT and SENT. But I need both of those versions of scent and sound. The world needs it. BTD Mom, the world needs it. Lynette Dickerson, the world needs it. Jams JJ, the Tosh 82, Jana, I can go on down the line, Monica. Yeah, let me come back, because SK 8843. The world needs it. The world needs it. The Rebel Inc. Oh my God, the world needs it. Royal Confessions, the world needs it. And everybody else that's under the sound of my voice, I'm not talking about you pointing your finger to somebody else. I'm talking about look in the mirror and roar, because the world needs you. Yes, you. That's the name of this podcast. Yes, you. And the world needs you to roar. Genesis 1:1. That's what I'm going to call this day. January the 21st in the year 2021. It's Genesis 1:1. I love y'all. Now, I hope this helped you. And I'm saying even Genesis, the roar, the finances. Let's relay the foundation. And like Viola said, let's get up and let's roll up our sleeves and let's do this. Come on. I want us to raise up. I'm going to go back to Amanda one more time before I get out of here. I want us to raise up some young people, your children, your grandchildren, everybody that's in your immediate environment. Hear me. I really want you to hear me when I say this. All of the young people in your immediate environment, I want you to begin speaking power. King Coogee, life, love yourself first every day. Life, good morning, King. Good morning, Sire. I want you to start speaking to everybody, your children, your grandchildren, your nieces, your nephews, your great-grands, for those of you that have them. Starting in Genesis 1:1 on 1/21/2021, I want you to start and begin speaking life. Come on, like King Coogee said, life. L-I-F-E and L-Y-F-E. Life, L-Y-F-E, is trademarked by King Coogee. Love yourself first every day. Start teaching it and speaking life. Breathe into their nostrils the breath of life so they can become a living soul. Hear me. Breathe into these young people the breath of life. Stop speaking death over them. Breathe into them the breath of life. L-I-F-E and L-Y-F-E. Love yourself first every day. Breathe into them the breath of life so that they can become living souls. And then let's harness our energies and train them up to be the power forces that they are meant to be. And let's teach them how to expand their bones and how to expand their voice box so that they can roar. I'm gonna say it one more time. Speak words of life, L-I-F-E, and words of life, L-Y-F-E. Love yourself first every day so that they can learn how to expand their bones and how to expand their voice boxes so that they can roar. Start as early as possible. If your children and your children's children and your nieces and your nephews are pregnant, speak to the belly. Talk to them while they're in the womb. And then continue the conversation of power and of love and a sound mind after they come out of the womb every day. Teach them how to love themselves first every day. And teach them and speak words of life. And I guarantee you, if and when we do this, they will roar. Their bones will be enlarged and their voice box will expand and they will roar. And so I say and I speak to Amanda Gorman and the power that is you as a young 22 powerful lion, a black woman, that your power is limitless and your voice is unfettered. I say to you, roar. And to everybody else, if she can do it, if she can be it, so can you. Don't let nothing, come on, Monica, nobody puts baby in the corner. You heard? Nobody puts baby in the corner. There you have it. This is the Genesis 1 and 1 today, 1/21/2021. Y'all see all those ones? 1/21/2021. This is the Genesis 1 and 1. Let's do this. All right. I want y'all to do it. I want y'all to do it. I want y'all to do it. Put King Coogee in my shout out. If you haven't already done it, you may have already done it. There it is, y'all. Listen, I got the best mods. I have the best mods. They already ahead of me and they already got it taken care of. Follow this brother. I call him Sire. Follow this brother because he's good people and he will bless your soul. I love every last one of you that have come in to have this conversation with me on today. I love you. I just can't say it enough. I'm excited because it's Genesis 1 and 1. Now make it a new day. Make it a good day because it is. Well, I feel for my brother and I feel for my sister that it's Genesis 1 and 1. That we're doing a new thing and it's getting ready to spring forth. We've never seen it before, and it is a time that we have the opportunity now to make this everything that we want it to be. It's your opportunity to make your world. He creates the fruit of your lips. I need you to believe that. The world is framed by the creation of the words that you speak from your mouth. So I need you to have life and life more abundantly. And I need you to have life, L-Y-F-E, from King Coogee, my brother, that says love yourself first every day. And then shed that love, spread that love, spread it all around because everybody needs it. Honey, just like on The Color Purple, everything just wants to be loved. I know that's right. Listen, I'm out of here. This is your spiritual thought leader, Regina L. Stillman, and I appreciate you for coming in. I want you to follow me and join me on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Patreon, Twitter, Twitch, Anchor, and more. I'm out there, y'all. I'm out there. I just want you to follow me and let's have a good time. Now, as my friend always says, Rhonda Royal or Royal Confessions, whatever you call her, if you don't deal with it, it will deal with you. And so I need you to take the bull by the horns, handle your business, people, handle your business. And don't come out the house looking like Hillary. Put your clothes on, make yourself look good. Then come out the door looking like Michelle Obama. I need you to come out looking like Michelle Obama. Listen, don't just talk about change, but I need you to be the change. And as I always say, the emphasis of what we're about, us, you, me, we all. Because listen, we all in this together. I love you with the love of God. This is the day that God has made. I want you to rejoice and I want you to be glad in it. Is that all right? That's the way we roll. That's the way we roll. That being said, you know how I close it out. I definitely want you to have peace for your journey.